welcome back to another video. Today I am explaining Izanagi. Now, as we know, Izanagi is much of a Deus Ex Machina in the Naruto universe, where Obito, Madara has used it, and Danzo also, to keep themselves alive, negating any kind of injury or anything. As with Izanagi, the user applies an illusion to reality itself, giving the user control over what is and is not real as long as Izanagi is active. For example, Madara was specifically killed in the Hashirama fight, but since he activated Izanagi a short time before, he stayed quite dead for quite a while. And then when Izanagi was active, he activated, he thus negated that injury from Hashirama altogether, and inevitably sacrificing one of his Sharingan, but inevitably walking free and walking alive, being able to manipulate a whole lot of other ninja wars. As well as Obito uses Izanagi. I mean, the only time he really used Izanagi in a stressing factor is when he has to face Conan, wherein Conan was ready, was able to defeat Obito, whatever you may say, because Obito was not ready for what Conan had in mind for him, but had to use Izanagi to catch Conan off guard and inevitably kill Conan, because if he does not have Izanagi there, he inevitably dies in that fight. Whatever turn, we all know that Danzo uses Izanagi with his multiple Sharingan to keep himself alive in the Sasuke fight multiple times over again. Anyway, it seems like multiple people can use Izanagi. So off the basis of that, many people, at least in my headcanon, the Uchiha clan didn't use Izanagi against Obito or against Naruto or against Itachi, mostly because it may take a while to set up or put into practice. You may have to have mastery over the Sharingan. Of course, the only people knowingly using this is Madara and Obito, and of course Danzo is still a Hokage class shinobi at the end of the day. Anyway, they become blind, and of course the only time you can get your Sharingan back is by awakening the Rinnegan. Of course, and because Uchiha only possesses half of the Sage Chakra, they can only keep Izanagi active for a few seconds. The exact amount of time depends on the user's power or potential. Like Madara's Izanagi stayed active all throughout his life, even staying able to be old. Obito sacrificed the Sharingan, but still is able to remain active. Of course, Obito is juiced up with Hashirama cells, the steroids of the Naruto franchise. And of course, Danzo has the Hashirama cells, Hashirama arm, to keep himself over and over to use it. So, yeah. That's kind of it. Another form of Izanagi, of course, is the Tsukiyomi, but that's a whole different thing that I'll have to explain later. Anyway, like, subscribe. The only person that I really don't know why they didn't use Izanagi is a Shisui kind of deal, because even though he could have used Kodomo Matsukami with his one eye, could have just used Izanagi to keep himself alive and expose Danzo to the village elders, or at least to the third in a sort of way. Anyway, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.